It's always a great feeling coming in here. This is where all the action happens, and it's just fun to come in this shop. And then we've got the overhead crane, all the tools that we could dream of. This is where we go to just flat get things done. There's nothing that's gonna come in this shop that can't get done. We can lift it up, we can tear it apart, we can torch it, we've got the plasma table, we can weld it, but let's go check out what kind of stuff we are working on today. This is a 28 foot. We don't get in a lot of 28 foots, but we've had a lot of call for them recently. We've always done 24s and then 38s, but this 28 kind of fits in between. And so we decided to stock one. This is a 2200, so it's got the 5-bolt blade, but they're going through there and bolting all of those blades on across there. We use the crane to lift these giant coils up into those housings, and now we're putting all these blades on. So after we get all the blades put on, then we'll put on all the harrows and baskets and then stickers, and then it'll pretty much be a finished tool at that point. So we gotta get this thing done. Hear that noise? It's always good to hear. Here's another pretty cool project we got going on. This is that dive bomb project. This is headed to Missouri where snow goose live, and this is gonna side dress corn. He's gonna plant corn with a 4-row 36-inch planter, and this is gonna side dress that corn. He's doing it for duck hunting purposes mainly, and he tasked us with the job of setting all this up for him. So I'm pretty excited about how this turned out. It's just a neat little 3-point, simple side dress applicator. Turned out really great. Got a 200-gallon tank up there and fit well. Here's something you don't see in our shop every day. We used to mess around with Hagies quite a bit, and this one is in our shop. We're doing all kinds of different things to it. It originally came in and it had a lot of NORAC issues. The NORAC harnesses were showing bare wires, and the UC5 system just wasn't working right. We tore it apart. Elliot tested all the harnesses, and we found about 400 feet of harnesses that were bad on that NORAC. So we've got those all wound up, got them replaced, but in the meantime, we found some bushings that were bad on the boom. We're gonna tear that boom apart today, get those bushings taken care of, and then it was also struggling to shift into a gear. I think there was maybe a solenoid bad that changed hydraulic flow. There's a lot to work on a machine like this, and whether it's hydraulics, electronics, or an engine, we can definitely tackle it here. So if you have a Hagie and you're looking for a place to get it worked on, we can tackle it right here. So that's what we've got going on in here in the shop today. It's noisy, it's busy, the guys are working. Farm show starts tomorrow. Deliveries are about to fire up. The temperature's heating up, and spring's right around the corner. So our shop is hustling, and we're ready to bring you all these projects. So stay tuned for them.
the shifting of the Hagie itself, or the hydrostatic drives here. I swapped these around to figure out which one was bad and causing it to not go into 5th gear in road mode. So now I'm just going to swap them back and see if the problem goes back to original. Then we know one or all of these are bad. I went to Uno.
Okay.
Went over there for diesel and worked on trucks for 10 years before I came here. Did everything, started at the bottom, jobs and clutches, services. Started at the bottom, worked your way up, and eventually got into building engines, rebuilding engines. I've done everything from Cats, Cummins, Detroits, worked on some DT 466s, international motors. I do some side stuff here and there on local guys' trucks.
Yeah, my dad's a diesel mechanic. Started out in the Navy working on ships and stuff. Then he got out and he's doing that full time.
Yeah, it's a hectic job, really. Knowing how to take stuff apart and put it back together the right way and not screw it up. Biggest problem with stuff like this, since Deere bought out Hagie, getting any information from Deere is really hard. Like the wide drop bars that we build, all the harnessing got changed. So now there's a little bit different harnesses we have to put on and all that. I swapped those solenoids back to see if it's going to go back to the way it was to prove that those solenoids are bad. If it goes back to the way it was, whenever we go to shift into 5th gear, it's going to whine real bad. And then I can check hydraulic pressures on here, and they're going to jump up like 7,000, 8,000 PSI. Basically saying that there's a restriction somewhere, and it's kind of hard to see it. If it's running right, we should have lower hydraulic pressure. We should be running like 26 miles an hour. Forward, there's the line. So now solenoids are bad. You need to figure out which one actually is bad and why it's causing high pressure. Actually, we're running like 7,400 PSI right now off of those sensors. The solenoids, I crisscrossed the solenoids for drive pump 1, and that didn't change anything originally. So then I moved the drive pump 2 solenoids up to the drive pump 1 set, just flip flop it back, and then it made a change. So that proves that there's one or more solenoids bad. And then try to have Deere looking to see what the solenoids are going to cost. They had to submit a case for it because of a serial break, and then the change between Deere and Hagie got bought out. Hopefully they'll get back with me on that here pretty soon. The solenoid here, which that just creates a magnetic field. Power on the ground. It creates a magnetic field that moves a spool inside of the stem that's bolted onto that block here. And all it does is push a little piston out into this to control the oil flow. Is all it does. So something's not working like it should somewhere.
I mean, he would know.
Well, it doesn't really seem right. Well, then I did find in the pages talking about pressures through Hagie's website, and they are supposed to be down there in like 2,000 range or something like that.
Does that read out on the cab on the screen?
So it's got that little monitor in there.
Yeah.
And you got to go through a couple pages, but you can get to it in there.
Okay. I've never seen actual live hydraulic pressures while you're running.
Yeah, it's in like the M drive pump or something like that. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it tells you all the pressures and everything.
Interesting.
You can even go through like the all-wheel steering and everything.
Perfect. Well, those guys will put some acres on it, so it needs to be top notch, ready to go. And as we start to lean into March, we're only a few weeks away from that thing running.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully those are the magic potion to getting that thing fired up.
I think it will be. Being that the solenoids are swapped and it ran faster and it acted better, I think just changing the floor I'm just gonna
be all right. So we like to see in and out quick. I mean, it's been here for a couple weeks, but trying to dig in and figure everything out is what takes a while.
Yeah, I would say road conditions.
Yeah. Cool. Well, should have what you need. Let's get her swapped out, and we'll run for waste for some better road conditions now again.
Yeah.
But
someone should have shot that ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought we were through it there. We had rain and we delivered some stuff Friday. I thought we were heading in the right direction. I mean, I was teed up to get all these trucks hooked to something and get it heading out the door. And then I kept seeing snow in the forecast, but I guess was trying to close my eyes to it and just pretend it wasn't going to happen. But yeah,
Just like it wasn't supposed to snow all day yesterday.
Yeah, it did. And now there is salt everywhere.
No, the roads were terrible going down to Fountain City this morning.
Yeah.
Just on State Line, I turned off on Zaringer Road there to go to State Line.
Yep.
I wasn't even on it, and that 450 was just sliding out
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yep.
State Line's like a sheet of ice. Then you get down on the 227, there's 3-4 inches of snow across it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it was blowing. It was pretty bad last night at about 5:30. Like, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Well, we should have what we need. Hopefully this is the last piece of the puzzle. Get that sucker back up and running. So, yeah.
Wait for a nicer day so we can drive it.